the difference maker in the All-Star game, and the team noticed.
I never for a second thought that I was dead, oh no. I never for a second let you into my head, oh no. I'll take a bow and I'll show you how to survive. I bet you die, you were the love of my life, whoa no. I bet you thought that I would lay down and die, whoa no. I bet you thought that I would lose my mind, oh no. I bet you thought that I'd give up tonight, oh no. Bleeding knees, but honey, I can still cry, oh yeah. I'm going crazy to get out of this, oh yeah. I'll take a bow and I'll show.
The Bengals are now on the clock.
I bet you die, you were the love of my life, whoa no. I bet you thought that I would lay down and die, whoa no. I said I get away from the pain when I baby. I said I get away, get away. Why? I cannot get away from the pain when I baby. I never get away, get away. I'll take a bow and I'll show you how to survive. I bet you die.
The Ravens are now on the clock.
I bet you thought that I would lay down and die.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Oh no, yeah. We're awake, we're alive, got the fire in our
The Titans are now on the clock.
And if this is just a dream, don't wanna wake up. Let this feeling break up. Running free, running wild, never running out of style. Got the fight, got the stuff, got the never giving up. Not gonna shake us. Nothing's gonna break us.
The Giants are now on the clock.
We know we are brighter than all the stars. As long as we're together, we'll stay young forever. We make the rules, break 'em when we want to. As long as we're together, we'll stay young forever. Forever. Young forever. We'll stay young forever. You know the part of the song everybody sings along. Well, that's us. Listen up, shout it out. I'm talking all night. The end is nowhere in sight. From the streets to the tracks, here's to never looking back. 'Cause the past doesn't last long as we're together. Just keeps getting better. Just keeps getting better. We know we are brighter than all the
The Vikings are now on the clock.
As long as we're
The Colts are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock.
Never stopping, never slowing. Yeah, we're living wide open. Unwinding every moment.
Now that the Cowboys have made their pick, let's go to Adam Schefter to hear more about him.
He's a Heisman-winning defender. Let me say that one more time. He won the Heisman, and he's a defensive player. Need I say more? You can imagine how well he played this season to win the biggest award in college over several offensive playmakers. The trophy was well-deserved, and according to Matt Miller, he projects really well as a defender in the NFL. I think this is a home run pick, and it's great to see a defender get some well-deserved recognition.
Just a bunch of poor boys, daddies, girls, children of the cornfield, trying to turn a shift job into a dollar bill. We wear the muddy boots, stay true to how we're raised. Ain't nothing about us fake. You know we're straight out of that dirty South, dirty roads. Nobody got no money, got them signed up pickup trucks, whistling at them from the country. Yes, sir. You know we're straight out of that long week working now. Everybody wanna party all night long, bonfire on the back 40 in the middle of nowhere. Nobody going home tonight till we're straight out of moonlight, straight out of moonlight. Yeah. Just a bunch of John Deere junkies getting funky to some old hang. Nothing been stuck in the mud that we can't hook up to a rusty chain in the sun or in the rain. It's the kind of thing. You know we're straight out of that dirty South, dirty roads. Nobody got no money, got them signed up pickup trucks, whistling at them from the country. Yes, sir. You know we're straight out of that long week working now. Everybody wanna party all night long, bonfire on the back 40 in the middle of nowhere. Nobody going home tonight till we're straight out of moon.
Let's go to Adam Schefter now, who's got more to say about the Dolphins' latest pick.
He set a school record for touchdowns in a game, establishing himself as one of the biggest defensive mismatches in college football. His unique combination of size and agility had him rated by Matt Miller as not only the #1 tight end entering the draft, but also top 5 amongst all receiver prospects. According to Todd McShay, he's the type of player that could wreak havoc in the NFL, even being able to line up in the slot due to his elite route running ability. In a league that has seen its fair share of difference-making tight ends, it should be interesting to see if he's able to separate himself from the pack.
Bonfire on the back 40 in the middle of nowhere. Nobody going home tonight till we're straight out of moonlight, straight out of moonlight.
Draw. Hard to admit that I used to draw. portraiture in a human form. Doodle of a two-headed unicorn. It was soothing. Moving his arm in a fusion of man-made tools and amused him beyond even if it
The
was.
Saints have made their selection. For more about him, let's go to Adam Schefter.
This quarterback has garnered the reputation as being one of the more consistent passers in all of college football this season. He had a string of games where he averaged over 300 yards and at least 2 touchdown passes a game. According to Matt Miller, the big takeaway from his hot streak was that he played against varying levels of competition. No matter if it was some of the weaker defenses in college or some of the toughest, he tore apart their secondaries. He always plays at a high level and never sinks down to the level of his competition. We'll see if he can remain so consistent once he's playing on Sundays.
I let my fears materialize. I let my skills deteriorate. Horn about a thought of what I should have been. Continuing a mission that was rooted in a 20-year affinity and rickety condition with an ID crisis. Snap on the front lawn, look up in the sky. It's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Used to paint.
The Texans are now on the clock.
Natural light on a human face. Stenciled fire in his roommate's face. It was blooming addiction. A miss and a push and a pigment. Book like a tattooed pigskin look. Pinhead kids at a minute. Drank Kool-Aid from a tube of acrylic. And I grew up in a linseed oil ever linen. Joy to the poison. Voice to the resin. Capture a map at a gesture. Back up, add a little accurate fat to the figure. Redo that, move that inward. Zinc white lightning shoots from his fingers. Studio strewn with illusion and tinctures. Stay tuned for the spooky adventures. You can imagine the stars that align when a forearm starts foreshortening right or a torso hung on a warping spine of a portion. Reads as warm and alive. Routine day with a dirt cheap brush. Then a week goes by and it goes untouched.
The Chargers are now on the clock.
And the rest of your life to beat yourself up. I left some seasons eager to fall. I left some work to bury your life. I let my means of being dissolved. I let my person curl up and die. Eating up his innards and unfeasible anxiety is brutally committed to relinquishing his privacy, aligning with the trials of the anti-Midas. Snap on the back lawn, look up in the sky. It's shapes falling out of the frame.
The Broncos are now on the clock.
Would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings.
The Bengals are now on the clock.
Can I get a witness in the darkness? 'Cause there ain't no love at all to be found. Feeling like a freight train, trying to break chains. Everybody needs somebody, no doubt. Sugar, just step into your sneakers and step behind the speakers. Your heart will keep me beating and make me a believer. Don't you want me? Don't you want me?
The Cowboys are now on the clock.
Give me what you got. Oh, oh, oh. Give me what you got. Oh, oh, oh. I said, roll up, you come get your love. I don't care when we're dancing tonight. Just as long as you're there in the freak of the light. I said, roll up, you come get your love. I don't care if I'm losing my way. I've been waiting for you as the night fades away. So roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up. Can I get an amen when the night ends? There's no winner when you're walking alone. Sliding down the last street as the day creeps. What you doing with nobody at home? Sugar, just step into your sneakers and step behind the speakers. Your heart will keep me beating and make me a believer. Don't you want me? Don't you want me? I need some mercy in my soul. Come on. Give me what you got. Oh, oh, oh. Give me what you got.
The Jaguars are now on the clock.
I said, roll up, you come get your love. I don't care when we're dancing tonight. Just as long as you're there in the break of the light. I said, roll up, you come get your love. I don't care if I'm losing my way. I've
You suck.
I said